Okay, so ICS 321. Now I can share my screen. I do that this way. And if I optimize for full screen video clip, you don't see me, which is better because you see the screen bigger. I can get rid of this. And I'm sure there's a way I can get rid of this, but anyway. So today, I promised I would do assignment 2. What's today? Today's the 29th. Okay, yeah, assignment 2 is due today, so today is a good day to do it. Have I given you assignment 3 yet? I can't remember. Have I given you an assignment 3 yet? Probably not. Okay, so I better get that for you next time. You already know what it's going to be. I just got to stored procedures, transactions. Yeah, because we're going to start transactions next week, on Wednesday, so that's a good time for the assignment. Okay, so I was going to do assignment 2, but just before I do that, assignment 2, it's this one, and you have to make the 2 business constraints are the things that you got to do, and I give you an example of business constraint. Okay, so I ask you to do business constraints for this WPC database, you know, employees and the projects and the assignments and so on. And then I ask you to do make sure a project is never overcharged, make sure an employee never works more than 3 projects in a month. And then, okay, but then I show you an example of how to enforce something on the supplier's parts database, namely the shipments are smaller than 100 pieces are not allowed unless the shipper and the part are reside in the same city. So that's this. That is this trigger. So, and then I give you code here to show you how to test it. So you can test it with PHP, like on a web page, and you try to insert something that's already in there, and it displays out. It returns the message from your stored procedure. It returns this message here, displays it out. So anyway, and it's timely that quiz 20 and 21 that's today and Wednesday quizzes are simply these are the same questions we had in quiz 10 and 11. Quiz 10 and 11 were for each question, state which operands have the potential to violate these constraints. So I give you there's a bunch of constraints here, and you're supposed to say, oh well, okay, inserting a part into the parts table, that could cause a violation. Updating a part in the parts table, that could cause a violation. So those are the places where you need to put triggers to make sure that these constraints are enforced, and that was quiz 10, if you recall. Quiz 11 was to actually have you write the constraints in tutorial D language, and you remember you could write it, using and or is empty, and so that's these 5. And then now this quiz 20 and 21. Then since they're a little bit harder, because I actually ask you to write the trigger code. You don't have to write the begin and end, but you have to just write what the if statements are inside. And so I've given you the answer to the first one. Parts can't weigh more than 100. So this would be that you would put this in the for table P, the before insert, you would make this a before insert trigger, and you'd also make it a before update trigger. So that's two triggers. That's two places for triggers. Now, the before insert trigger could have a bunch of if statements in there if you're trying to enforce a bunch of constraints, all where P, if you make an update or insertion into P, could possibly violate that constraint. Anyway, so then the first two, I just have the first two problems from that problem set. So you can go back and look at your quiz answers for 10, 10, and 11, and you should see exactly what 11 should tell you what this if statement should be, and 10 should tell you where you put it. P before insert, P before update, for example. And so this was question 1. The question 2 is this one. Question 3 is this one. And then I went on to Wednesday also. Wednesday we're going to start, transactions, but we're going to spend three days on that. So I thought I'd throw the other two. Question 4 was this one, and question 5 was this one. So you just basically have to write the triggers for that, and that's what you have to do for this assignment that's due today. So why don't I actually try to do the assignment?
The assignment really isn't actually due today, right?
Well, I mean, it's today's the last day you can hand it in to not get the extra credit. Yeah, yeah. So if you hand it in by this day, then you get extra credit at the end. See, that's my way to encourage you to hand it in by a certain date, a certain meaningless date that has nothing to do with me or grading. It's just an arbitrary deadline I have to throw out there so you guys don't bunch it all up at the end. So that deserves extra credit and not a deduction if you don't hand it in late. So that's how I handle that. But so anyway, it's only a 5-point. No, it's a 5-point assignment. It's a small assignment. Anyway, although see, yeah, okay. So because I might be able to actually just finish it all today. So let's go and look at the assignment. And it's assignment 2. And first thing I got to do is I got to load up this database here. So let me do that. I'm going to go to my Richard H. This one, cPanel, and I'm going to go in. And I'm going to go to, I'm going to create a new database. Might as well do it from scratch. And I'm going to call it assign-2. How's that? Assign-2, assignment 2. Assignment 2 database. And so now I've got an assignment 2 database. And I don't need to do anything else, whatever. I'll go in and connect up this. Did I make a user already? Okay, I'll go connect up that user later when I do the PHP part. Seems like I did seems like I did all this already before. But anyway, okay, so now I'm going to go to PHP my admin. And here's my new database right here. It's got no tables. And so I'm going to go over to here and I'm going to copy this. This is the WPC database. So I'm going to start here and go all the way down to here. It's got foreign key constraints and all. Shift click, and then I'm going to right click copy, if this works. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pop open an SQL window in my assignment 2 database. And I'm just going to right click doesn't know paste, so I'm going to do a Control V, and there it all is. And looks there, looks good. I'm going to click Go. And here are 4 tables. There's an assignment table. There's a department table. There is an employee table. And there is a project table. All right, what's next? So I did that. Project, okay. Summary, okay. Create some views, okay. Project assignments. A summary of the project assignments with hours worked for that week. Sorted by project name, then by employee last name. Include PNAME, FNAME, LNAME. Okay, so it's this. And it's project assignments. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go right now. So it's like select, no, it's from assignment. Select this from assignment. Natural join. So what is it? I need employee, and I need natural join. Is that all I need? What's LNAME? Last name, first name. Project name. Oh, I need the project too. Project. Am I gonna have a problem with department? I might have a problem with department, yeah. Let's see what I get when I do this. Go. No, there should be as many records as there are in assignment. So it looks like the department field, because there's a department field in both employee and project, it natural join those 2 together also, which I do not want. So let's edit this, and I'm just going to change this to join employee on empnum equals employee, and I got to name it E. Empnum, or E.empnum, natural join, assignment, equals A.empnum. And I got to name this one. And the reason I'm renaming them, so I don't have to write that big long assignment, so I don't have to write it all the time. Just makes it easier. So I name this table, I rename it E, and then from then on I just refer to it as E, and same with A. So that takes care of that. And I also want to join project P. I'm going to name that P on P dot PID equals A dot PID. Okay, now we shouldn't have any problems. Let's try this. Okay, that's more like it. So these are all the assignments we have on. Oh, I got to sort them by something. What am I supposed to sort them by? By project name, then by employee last name. Sort by project name, then by employee last name. All right. So let's edit this. Sort by order by PNAME, comma, LNAME. Okay, so first we have, say they are sorted by PNAME. Yes, because of Q4. Okay, and then in portfolio analysis, you see they're sorted by last name. Project plan, they're sorted by last name. Tax preparation, they're sorted by last name. All right, there, that's great. Oh, now I gotta turn it into a view. So let's see, so I can never remember. I wonder if I can get rid of this somehow. So I'm gonna say MySQL create view. And the way to do it is you say create view name. Oh, let's just look at this little example here. Create view name as the thing. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to copy this part, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to paste it there, and I'm going to. And I don't want to call it view name like some of you did. I want to call it. Project assignments. Project assignments, that's what I'm going to call it. Project assignments. Create view project assignments as that. Okay, go. All right. You don't see it over here, but if we go like here, you see it there. And so you notice it doesn't have anything here because it's not really anything, but you can browse and you can see, look, here it is. And so now what's so great about a view, what's great about a view, of course, is that it's dynamic. So when you update any of these and then you click project assignments, it's going to be the latest because it's created at the time that it's requested. But that's pretty obvious. Okay, so that's one. What's the next one? Project summary. Summary of hours worked that week for each project. Number of employees that worked on the project. A list of employees that worked on the project. And how many hours are left over from max hours allocated for the project. Wow. That's quite a one. That's quite a. All right, so let's see how I do this. I'm going to use concat, group concat, sum, and group by. And I want to make this, so I'm just going to take this right now, copy, and it's going to be project summaries, so it's going to be by project. So I'm going to take, I'm going to do assignments, and then I'm going to group by projects. Right. All right. So let's see what that looks like. Let's do a new one. Let's see. I'm gonna want. Well, I'm gonna just put select this just so I have it. From. I might just do this. And inside here, I'm going to put select something from assignments. Assignment. We got to join up project name and employees. So it's the same as before. Assignment. Join project on, I got to do that all again, a P on A dot PID equals P dot PID join employee E on E dot empnum equals A dot empnum. Group by PID. Okay, so what is this now? This is going to be, okay, so we're grouping by project. So in each of the groups, the project name is going to be the same. In the entire group, say okay, we're grouping by projects, so it's going to be everything in this project group and everything in this project group. And so the group name of every record that's grouped in a project is going to have the same name. So I can just say project PNAME here. And then sum hours is going to be the sum of hours, work hours, right? Work, what is the name of the, what is the WK, shoots. I'm just going to put that because I can't remember what it is. As sum hours, number of employees, so sum one, number of employees. Distinct, I'm going to try count, distinct, empnum. As emps. Group concat. Concat. FNAME, comma, spacey, LNAME as emplist. Max hours or total hours or whatever it is. Max hours, whatever it is. I think it's just max hours minus some work hours as hours left. Okay, so it's going to be something like that. I'm probably going to have to put in, I'm just going to say a.empnum. From assignment. All right, now this is not going to work because of per that. So I'm going to copy it, and I need to know what max hours and work hours are called. So that's in here. I do. It's work hours and max hours. Okay, so work hours and that max hours. I did it. So HRS, right? Yeah. All right, I'm going to see what this does. I might have to do some. Here. Every derived table has to have its own alias. Okay, all right. Alias, whatever. column PID and group statement is ambiguous. All right, A dot that. I'm gonna copy this just in case. Okay, here we are. Project Q3 product plan, 160 hours worked, 3 employees, and there's minus 25 hours left. We're gonna have to confirm, okay, so I'm gonna have to confirm all this. Mary Jacobs, number of employees. All right, so I'm gonna quickly make a, am I supposed to sort these by anything? No, so I'm not gonna. All right, so let me make a, what you call, create view project summary as, is that what it was? Let me just say go. What did I might do something wrong. Okay, I don't really need, let me just put this up bigger again. I don't really need the SQL inside an SQL. So I don't really need this. Okay, because I name all these things already. So this is going to be sum hours. This is going to be num amps. This is going to be amp list. This is going to be hours left. And so we'll see what this looks like. Let's see if this works. Okay, that worked. All right, so now we can go over here and we can click on this and we see that, for example, 2019 Q3 product plan. 29 Q3. I should have put the totals were everything. Okay, so let's look at that. 2019 Q3 product plan is this one. So first one, it's got 135 hours max, and it's 1,000. 135 hours max, and it's 1,000. Okay, here we've got 30, and we've got this is 105, and then we've got 160, and that's higher than 135. In fact, it's so that's 160. 160 minus 135 is about what, 25? Is that what this is? Yeah, minus 25 hours. Okay, looks like it works. I put that just one small check there, but and you can verify there were 3 people there, and so let's look at there's 15 hours left in this one. Third quarter tax preparation. There's 4 folks working on that. That's Q3 tax preparation is this one. It's 1,200. There's 145 hours. 1,200. 145 hours. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people. That's 4, and 25 and 20 is 55 plus 45 is 100, and 40. And what did I say?
45 plus 20 is 45.
45. Oh, 40. Oh yeah, 45. 90 and 130. 130 and 145, and so there was $15 left. 15 hours left, I mean. Yeah, 15 hours left. All right, so that works. Let's see, 2:04 only. Wow, it's early. All right, what's next? Employee summaries. Summary of hours worked that week for each worker, the number of projects they worked on, and the list of projects each worked on. Include FNAME, LNAME, sum hours, number of projects, and project list. Well, that looks exactly like this one. Instead of PNAME, we have FNAME and LNAME. Instead of sum hours, we've got sum hours. Instead, and we're grouping by EID instead of PID. So for this one, because we're doing by employee. And we do the same thing. We're counting up the number of projects, just like we did for counting up the number of employees. And we have a project list. So it's basically just doing a group concat, you know, bunch of projects, the names of the projects. And there's no hours left. You don't have an hours left. So this one's actually even a little easier. And so you don't have a concat. You don't even need a concat here, because I just ask you for the FNAME and LNAME separately. So this one is two things easier. There's no concat, there's no embedded concat inside a group concat like there is for this. And there's no sum of hours. There's no max hours minus sum of hours. That's this, and there's nothing like that here. All right, now we have these business constraints. So the first one is a project is never overcharged. So that means that when you are putting something into the assignment table, you have to make sure that you have to add up the hours that are already being charged to a project, compare that to the max hours of the project, and you got to make sure it doesn't go over. If it's going to go over, you reject the insertion. And it's the same with an update. The update's a little slightly trickier, because you actually, if you're updating, you want to look at the difference that affects the total number of hours, instead of just adding the new amount to the total number of hours. So let's see how you do that. Now there's this example here for supplier parts, and maybe we'll refer back to that. But the first one, let's do business constraints. It's a trigger. Project is never overcharged. It's the assignments table. Let's go here in the assignment table. Gosh, it's the project table also, because if you change the max hours of the project, that can affect it. So you have to put something in there too. Let's start with assignment insert. So that's going to be a trigger. So I'm going to go over here to trigger. And I'm going to add a new trigger. And I'm going to call it assignment. Wait a minute, before I do this, I got to check to see if there's going to be, what's the other one? Employee never works more than 3 projects in a month. So that's going to, the assignment table is going to have to be in there. That's going to be affected there too. So it's going to be assignment, assignment insert, insert assignment constraints. Okay, so insert, before insert assignment. Okay, I'll just call it that. I'm going to call it before. I'm just going to call it insert, because assignment insert. That's a nice name for it. And it's going to be a before, and it's going to be an insert, and there's going to be a begin, and there's going to be an end. And let me go over here. Let's see what we got here. This looks pretty good. I'm going to copy this just because I am. I'll just copy one of them. I'm just going to copy one of them. No. I'm going to copy the whole thing. Copy. And I'm just going to put it there, even though it's all wrong. All right, so first I got to grab out the, I have to grab out the max hours for the project, and I got to add up the number of hours that are being worked on, or that's in there already. So I'm going to steal this thing here, cut that out of there, put it up here, and I'm going to say the num hour total. Currently, the number of hours worked on this project is select some work hours, WRKH that, from assignment where PID equals new PID. I want to make this bigger, and can I make it bigger this way too? Okay. So this is going to get me the number of hours that are currently being worked on in that project. And then I got to add up the, I got to know what the number of hours are for the project. So set max hours equals select max hours from project where PID equals new PID. Okay, so that's going to give me the max hours. And that now I got to take, okay, so we're inserting some hours. I'm going to assume that it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. I'm going to say set hours left, set hours, remaining hours, equals, set new num hours, new num equals num hours plus new dot work hours. Okay, so we take what's going to be inserted as work hours. We're going to add that to the total number of hours that's in there already, and that's going to be this new num hours. And then if new num hours is greater than max hours, then this. Then this. Okay? How? All right, that's before insert. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's good enough. That's all we need. All right? So, okay, I'm gonna, message text, I know what I'm gonna do. Set over hours equal max hours minus new num hours. Okay, so over hours equals max hours minus new num hours. Under hours. So these are hours left. So under hours equals max hours minus new num hours. If under hours is less than 0, then bam, rejected, overrun by, oh, I got a concat, reject, overrun by, comma, under hours. Whatever, hours, I don't know, something like that. It might not look right, but okay. So all right, so let's test this. Well, let's first of all, I got to copy this, see if it passes muster. Oh, I hate that. Oh, see, I lost it. See, I lost it. It has to do with my trying to make strings or something. Okay, add a trigger, and it's this, and I'm going to call it assignment insert. And it didn't like, I don't think it liked this, and it's funny. So I'm just going to say rejected overrun.
Do you have to put that at simple next to message text?
No, I don't. Let's see. I'm just going to say overrun. This is screwy now. Sometimes you have to create a variable, but sometimes when you create the variable, it doesn't work, and it has to do with this funny syntax stuff. But okay, I'm just going to try that. Rejected overrun hours. I'm just going to say that. See if this works. Copy this just in case I lose it. Copy. Okay, that's okay. All right. So I'm going to try now, and if we recall, let me. Yeah. So let's look at project summary again, and so this is 15 hours. Project number. I should have put the PIDs in here, shouldn't I have? That's 1200. So I'm going to put in there who can, whoever, Mary Jacobs works 20 hours on 1200. So I'm going to insert, and Mary Jacobs is okay. So assignment, insert, oh good, PID 1200, Mary Jacobs, Mary, 25 hours. Rejected overrun hours, yes. All right, I'm gonna make it, see, 15 hours works or 5 hours works. Okay, that, $1,201, I didn't think, there's a 1,201 in there? 15, 1,200, oh, was there 4, was Mary Jacobs already working on 12 on it? Okay, well, let's see, was Mary, I can't, let's see. Well, let's see if this changed. No, it didn't change. Oh, Mary Jacobs is already working on 1,200. Okay, let's do somebody else. Who's number 2? Who's number 2? It'll tell me. Okay, oh, let me just go back again. Okay, it's, okay, oh, Heather, Rosalie, Mary, and Tom. Heather, Rosalie, Mary, and Tom. So let me go to here, and let's go to here. Insert project 1,200, and Richard, is that me? Okay, I'm gonna try to put in 25 hours. It's not gonna work, but instead I'm gonna put in 5 hours, and it should work. Okay, good. So now when we look at assignment, we see I'm in there somewhere. But if we look at the summary, we see now it's 10 hours instead of 15, and I'm there. And there's 5 people in there. I'm working on it. All right, very good. Let's see. All right, what's next? Okay, so that's that. Oh, so we need to put that into, okay, so we're not done. We're not done. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to assignment. Let's go up and look at the triggers again. And this was an assignment insert. And we need to do the same thing for assignment update. So I'm going to copy this, copy. And I'm going to do a new trigger. And it's going to be assignment update. And it's going to be before updating. And it's going to be something like this. Except for the sum of the hours, num hours is this. That's how many people are working on it now. This is how much you can. And then so the new hours would be the number of people that are working on it now minus old, oops, that's bad. Minus, well, I'll just do that here. Minus old work hours. Okay. So I'm updating an assignment record, and so I want to see if the update is going to change. If the update is going to cause a problem. I want to see if the update is going to cause a problem. And so I see how many hours are worked there now, and then I add in the new hours that I'm going to change the update to. But then I have to subtract out what the old value is because I'm replacing. So that's why you subtract out the old value, and then the rest can be the same. Rejected update. I'm gonna put. Okay, let's see if this is saves. Okay. Go. Great. So now I'm going to go to here and let me see again. Let me fix. I'm going to fix. Let's fix this one. Mary, Ken, and Tom. 160 hours. That's project number 1. Mary, Ken, and Tom. So 30, 70. Ooh, these guys are working a lot. I'm going to reduce 8, number 8, down to, who's number 8? It's Tom. I'm going to reduce Tom down from, I'm going to subtract 35 hours from Tom's timesheet. He's got to find someplace else to charge those 35 hours. So I'm going to go to assignment, and I'm going to go to assignment. And I got to find Tom is 8. I'm going to make this take 35 away from there. That leaves it to be 45. 40. 40 plus 35 is 75. So I'll reduce this to 40. 40. Okay. Let me just reduce it to 65. It's not going to work. Because I didn't subtract out enough. You see, it's rejecting it because when it does the math, it's over. It's not as over, but nonetheless it's over. So it rejects it. I got to make it. 40 or 40. I'll make it 40. Okay, so it accepts that. Now, when we go to see the summary, we see that it is not overrun. All right, so I've added the, so project is never overcharged. Now, the other place you got to do it is in project itself, because what if somebody goes in and reduces the number of max hours in a project, which then causes an overrun. So we want to keep that from happening too. So let's go back to our in assignment and grab out. Let's grab out a one of these triggers here. Let's grab out the. It doesn't matter which one we grab, but I'm going to grab out the second one because it seems like it's got more in it. Copy. Close. And let me go to, now it's going to be inside project. And it's going to be trigger in project, add trigger, and it's going to be in project update, before update, because it won't matter with insert, because if it's inserting a new project, there won't be any hours charged to it. So I'm going to paste this in there. So the number, so I do the same thing, figure out the number of hours that are being charged on it right now. Okay, the max hours just comes in. So let me get rid of, I don't need this here. Where's my, I want to get rid of this line. So I've got the number of hours there, and so I got to see if the new max hours. I can do a tab this. The new num hours is going to be num hours plus new max hours minus old max hours. I guess that's what it is, minus old max hours. Okay, so let's say it's the number of hours worked is 80 and the max hours is 100. So the new max hours, oh, sorry, the max hours. So the old max hours is 100, and let's say you want to reduce it to 70, which would cause a problem. So you take 80, add 70, and that's 150. No, all you do is no, it's just under hours equals new max hours. We don't need to look at the old max hours. It doesn't matter with the old max hours. So we add up how many is being worked on, and we got to make sure that that number is still less than or equal to the max hours, the new max hours. So if under hours is less than 0, then that means max hours is less than new num hours, and there's a problem. Okay, so it's rejected. Update causes overrun hours, whatever. Okay, so let's see if this works.
Do we have a new num hours?
Yeah, because it's updating. Oh, it's not a new, a new. Oh, no, we don't. Yeah, you're right. New, it's just num hours. All right. Okay, so let's copy this, make sure in case I lose it. Go. That's good. So now let's go back to our summary, and we see that project 1200 has only 10 hours. Well, let's just do the first one. There's 10 hours to spare, and so there's 10 hours to spare. And so if we go over to project number 1, we see that it's max 135 hours. So if I change this to 130, it should work. Change it to 130, it should work. Fine. But if I change it to 120, that's too small. Rejected update causes overrun hours. So it's going to stay. I gotta escape it. Okay, so it stays 130, my last update, but this should then be down to 5 hours because I took away 5 hours. That was successful. All right. All right. So and I think that takes care of this. So you can't think of any other way that you could make any adjustments to the database, which would cause the hours to be overcharged. Okay, so the second one is an employee never works more than 3 projects in a month. Well, that's easy. You just go to the assignments table. You add up all the projects that the employee is assigned to that month, or has been assigned to already. And if that number is okay, so you're inserting. Okay, so you're going to do it when you add to the assignments table, because you're going to add an employee to be working on a project. So you want to add up all of the projects that the employee is currently working on, and so you can't go over 3. Also, if you are making a modification to the assignments table and you're changing an assignment from one employee to another employee, you got to go and add up the assignments for that new employee to make sure that you aren't going to be making that new employee work more than 3 projects. I think that's the only place. You only have to, I can't think of any other place where you need to Because if you insert a new employee, that's not going to do anything. You update an employee, that's not going to do anything. You update a project, it won't do anything. Add a project, that won't do anything. So it's only the assignments, and you're either going to add an add an assignment. You're going to add an assignment for an employee, and you have to make sure that the current number of assignments that employee is working on is not has not hit 3 yet. Or if you're going to change an assignment, you're going to change it from one employee to another employee. You got to do the same test for the new employee. So, so I don't need to show you how to do that one because it's pretty easy. It's easier than the first one, and it's all in the assignments table. So in the assignment table, in triggers, you'd go into it's both of these. You got to add something to both of these. In here, down right after this if statement, you start all over again, and you don't have to start all over again. You might not have to start all over because you let's see. For an employee, yeah, you have to start over because you're adding up the number of projects that an employee is working on. So you're going to start by going, oops. You might as well put a okay. So you'd say set num proj is equals select count from assignment where empnum equals new empnum. And that gives you the number of projects that the employee is working on. And then you just test to see if that's equal to 3. And if it is, you would reject it because you're adding. So this is for adding, and then for updating, or for updating, you would want to you're gonna have a new. It's the same thing. You're gonna have a new employee. It's gonna be, in fact, it's gonna be the same. You're just looking at the new employee, and you just check because the fact that you're subtracting hours from some other employee, or you're subtracting an assignment, because so you're changing one assignment to you're changing an assignment from an old employee to a new employee, and it doesn't matter about the old employee because you're actually removing an assignment, so you don't have any danger of that one going over. The danger is you're over assigning the new employee, and so it's the same thing as if you're inserting a new assignment for that employee. So I believe that the modification to the assignment update is going to be exactly the same as the modification to the assignment insert trigger. All right. So does that? I can stop sharing my screen and back to you. So are there any other questions? So that helps you with assignment 2. Good. You should be able to just go home tonight and do it. And
I got a question.
Yes.
So you just named the database assignment 2. Did you pick that from something, or did we just pick something that makes sense?
I named the database assignment 2. No, but when you are grading, or when the grader is going to go and look in your databases. Let's see, how can I? You can't see my screen. The people at home can't see my. Oh, All right. In fact, it looks just like PHP, my admin. So the grader, the thing that the grader uses, the grader sees a list of your databases, and then the grader clicks on one of them and goes in and looks to see if you got everything in there. And so it would help if in the you know, in the assignment, like you know, wherever you need to submit stuff. What does it look like I can do? What happens if I do view as a student? Viewing as a student. And is there a place to submit your stuff? Down here? Oh, yeah. So it would help. It would help the grader if you say, you know, I used this database for this assignment. That's if you have more than one WPC in there. But I don't think he's going to be a jerk about it. All right. Oh, the people at home could not see that, could they? What I said was the grader's gonna see a list just like this, and then the grader can go in and click and go into there and see all your stuff. And the grader sees the names of the tables, the create table statement, and then the actual table. Okay, so it's like, you know, tables down like that, and it's going to be a long page, especially if you've got a lot of stuff in your tables. And the views say it's a view, but you see the results of the view. And so, and for the triggers, there's another thing that grader clicks, and the grader clicks and then just sees your triggers, and they're matched up to the table. It's the same kind of thing. You're going to see a list of tables, and then you click, and then you actually see the triggers for that table. And there's not a way for him to actually execute the trigger. So, you know, the fact that your trigger is in there means that there's no syntax errors, but the grader is going to be eyeballing it to see if it's correct. So, you know, so you know, don't get too obscure or come up with some great idea on how to implement it, unless you want to. All right. Okay. So I'm going to end the meeting. Thanks for watching.